Hey friends, this is Ram and you're watching Skill Builder Zone. In today's video, we'll be talking about how you can transition from a database administrator into an Azure Data Engineer. If you are a seasoned, campaigner, seasoned DBA, or you are just, a starter, junior database administrator in SQL Server DBA or any of the other database RDBMS, then this is something that you would be interested in. If you want to move into Azure as a data engineer, then this video will help you out in a smooth transition. We will go through what you will exactly need, the certifications that will help you, and also how you can prepare yourself. It is not an overnight, transition. It is a journey that you will have to take, and how I did it myself will also, I'll also talk about that. And yeah, without any further delay, let's start our video. I started my career in 2013 as a junior database administrator. I went through the initial freshers program and all of those technical trainings and everything, and then I landed as a junior database administrator for SQL Server database. Then I moved. I just kept learning, and I was doing all those daily routine tasks. First the junior ones, and then progressed to the senior database administrator tasks. All those clusterings and always on replication, log shipping, performance tuning, and all from installing till configuration till performance tuning. I did everything, and then I slowly started moving towards the cloud, towards Azure. And then I started as a cloud database administrator. So I was just dealing with Azure SQL database, and managed instance was quite new back then in 2019, 2018. So it was very fresh, and I was just trying to learn as much as I can, and slowly just moved from there. Started doing some data engineering work, started doing some DevOps stuff, and then I landed a role as a data engineer. I did data engineering for quite some time, and then slowly moved from there to become a cloud data architect. So this is my journey, my experience, but I'm sharing you a transition plan, how you can do it. This is not an overnight task. You cannot just do the certifications and you will become a data engineer. It will require a lot of efforts. You will do all the certifications, you will learn all the in and out of what you'll be doing in that role. You might also be interested in doing some projects, and like you just wanted to, if you want to explore everything, you would like to uh, do some projects of your own and use that as a pitch for your next data engineering role. So let's get started. This is just a quick deck. So transition, yeah, it's very difficult. It's not that easy. If you think you can just become a data engineer or an Azure cloud engineer overnight, that's not possible. So to focus or to become anything, to become a cloud engineer or a data engineer, you will need to have a foolproof plan how you want to do it. It is not easy, so you'll have to come up with a plan, stick to it, trust the process, keep doing one thing at a time. And yeah, it is possible. It's not like something that cannot be done, because I have done it. That's why I'm here to advocate for that. So yeah, it's something that you will need to dedicate some time in. There will be a lot of tools, new tools that you'll have to learn. You'll need to learn a lot of technical jargons of cloud, and then cloud security. All of this will come in. So yeah, it's a steep learning curve, but it is very fruitful, because obviously, as you know, cloud is in the market for some time now, and it's maturing and everyone is adopting it. So there are quite a lot of roles, and they're quite highly paid jobs. So yeah, it's no brainer not to move towards cloud. The certifications for Azure Data Engineer. Uh, this is the certification overview that I have. If you are a database administrator, uh, you should start from DP 900, Azure Data Fundamentals. It will teach you very much all the fundamentals that you would need for your Azure data landscape. Go for the Azure Database Administrator Associate DP300. That's basically on your Azure SQL Database and Managed Instance. Administration, creation of the database, backup, recovery, all those tasks that you were doing on premises, you can use those skills can be carried over. Third is the Azure Data Engineer Associate, that is DP203. That's the certification that you might need to go through, and these three certifications will definitely help you land a good Azure Data Engineer role, given that you are you're experienced enough, you have some good knowledge prior to Azure of all the on-premise systems, and you do some projects in Azure data engineering, you do some projects on your own, and I'm sure you'll be able to start as a junior data engineer after you're done with a good solid end-to-end project. Let's see what each of them talks about. So the focus areas for DP900 are core data concepts. You will work on the on the relational databases, non-relational databases, and all other analytics workloads. So Azure SQL Database, Azure Cosmos Database, Azure Synapse Analytics, and Power BI. So you'll learn the fundamentals around this, and I'll definitely recommend to start from here because it will give you a good foundation. And from here you can choose what you want to actually do, if you want to just jump straight into Azure data engineering, or if you want to still stick to your database administrator role and you want to do a cloud database administrator role, then you can do a DP300. This is very much the job that you already do, SQL Server Database Administrator, but this is on the cloud. Your focus areas would be planning and implementation of data platform resources, implementing a secure environment, optimizing the query performance. That's exactly what you do in your SQL Server administration, which is your performance tuning. Tools and platforms, same thing, Azure SQL Database and Azure SQL Managed Instance. So you will be focusing on those, like starting from spinning up the resource till configuring everything. All of those will be taken care in this certification DP300. The third one, the important one, the Azure Data Engineer Associate DP203. So this one is very important and it's quite lengthy. You will learn so much in this. There are lots of tools that you will have to learn, lots of data platform, lots of different resources, how you use each of them to create that perfect Azure data platform and use that to do your data engineering. Uh, uh, as you're coming from a SQL background, your SQL will already be strong because database administrators have to deal with lots of SQL queries. So they know what exactly a SQL query is, how to optimize those queries. So you will not face any issues in the SQL side, but you will have to learn a programming language, be it Python or Scala, for your data manipulation, cleaning, and processing. So I would say Python would be easier to go. Obviously, when you go to Databricks, or you can use your Spark SQL to do a lot of cleaning or querying the data. But I would recommend you learn Python as well, even just for the data engineering side of things. You should start from very basics of Python, learn how to pull data, clean data, transform it, add columns, drop columns, remove duplicates, and then how you can write it back to the database or write it back to the data lake. So those basic stuffs that you want to do, you can learn in Python. And apart from the languages, you will need to learn how to implement or design the data storage, design and develop data processing. So this is where most of your task would be, ingesting data and processing it, making it available for reporting. So the entire ETL process, extraction, transform, and load, you will need to do that. So you will whatever data platform that you use, be it Synapse Analytics or be it Azure Databricks or just Data Factory, you will need to do everything, the entire ETL on your own. So you need to learn the end-to-end life cycle in the data engineering field. Uh, Next, the design and implementation for data security. Obviously, when you're dealing with data platforms, all the data coming into a data warehouse or your lake house, you you pull in so much of data that it becomes really important that you take care of the data security as well. Uh, Again, coming from our database administration background, you will have that knowledge of how to secure databases. So a lot of those things can be applied here, uh, just like keeping everything private, having your roles defined, giving minimum privileges, not giving anyone the admin access. So these kind of things are also part of this certification. Wherever if it's a data lake, making sure that only people who actually need that access have it. So all those things will come under it. Also, you will need to learn a bit of networking side of the Azure cloud, which is how you will secure your data platforms, and all those things is also a bit important. Last one, monitor and optimize data storage and processing. So this is, again, when you were a database administrator, you used to have you used to use the database mail to have your alerts sent to you when there is a job failure. So those kind of alerting and monitoring you will need to do in Azure as well. Lots of tools are already available, so it's not like you'll have to develop a tool. So it's just there. You will need to learn how to utilize it, and once you know how to utilize it, it's very simple. You'll just need to configure some alerts. Whenever there is a pipeline failure, you'll get an alert. Go back, fix that, and yeah, you're good to go. So tools and platforms, and this would be your Azure Data Factory, which is quite robust and mature ETL tool, orchestration tool from Azure Cloud. So one of the very earliest ones. You have your data lake storage. Data lake storage, it's just your Azure ADLS, Azure Data Lake Storage. It's just a storage account with hierarchical namespace. So you have the file system. Azure Databricks, again, the Databricks offering in Azure is the Azure Databricks. So if you've heard about it, it's very much the same Apache Spark engine running underneath, and you do all your data processing on top of it using your PySpark or Scala or anything, PySQL as well. So PySpark, Spark SQL to be precise. And yeah, Azure Synapse Analytics as well. So you will need to learn all these data platforms. Uh, Most of it is you can focus on one, create a proper project in one. For example, you just use Azure Synapse Analytics, you create a proper like choose a source, you create all the ingest it using a data platform, be it just Data Factory or Azure Synapse Analytics pipelines. Ingest it in a folder or in the data lake, and then you process it, clean it, whatever, bring it to another container, curated data. So you can have the landing zone, raw data, curated data. So all these processes you will learn while you start doing your Azure Data Engineering Associate DP 203. This is very high level video, so we'll not be talking about that, but maybe in future we will cover some basics of your medallion architecture, or just the old school raw curated transform and your analytics or semantic layer data, and then how you serve it into Power BI. So all of those we can discuss later in future. And yeah, so this is about DP203. Again, as I said before, it will not be easy. It will be quite a learning journey. So if you really want to do it, spend some time on it, dedicate some time every week, choose like a couple of hours every week and start doing that. And you need to have a solid foundation, otherwise you'll get caught very easily. There can be situations where you will have no help, and so to go through that you'll need a really strong foundation. So understand exactly what that particular solution is, how it works, how internally it operates, and you should be good to go. There's no, I mean, I have done the same thing. I have spent a lot of time. I spent a lot of time during the during COVID on learning Azure as a whole. That's why I was able to learn the DevOps side of things. I was able to do the data ops side of things, data engineering. So all of this I was able to do because I had a lot of time to learn. And once you're done, you will know everything about the RDBMS OLTP workloads, the NoSQL workloads, and the data and analytics workloads, which is your Synapse, Azure Databricks, Power BI, and everything. Fabric is something that Microsoft has recently released. It's a beast of its own, so that's covered in DP 500. So if you want to do, if you don't want to do any of this and just learn Fabric, you can go to and do that. I have a video in my channel where I have shared how I cleared Azure DP 500, which is your fabric analytics engineer. So I've done that already. So yeah, that's all for today. I hope you found this video useful. Please do comment on what you want me to share or how I can help you in your journey. So yeah, that's it from today. Catch you next video. Bye bye.